All right, welcome back. In this module, we are going to be talking about tenant retention. Now, this is an important thing because it's always cheaper to retain your current tenants than it is to have to go out and get new ones. So we're going to focus on how to maintain the relationship between you and your tenants. I do have to share the disclosure with you really quickly. I'm not a licensed attorney, accountant, financial advisor, real estate agent, real estate broker, or any other licensed individual. Even if I had a license, I am not acting in that capacity today. Therefore, I will not discuss or provide any specific counsel, advice, or instruction that would apply to specific individuals. This presentation is intended to be general information. I recommend that you engage the services of professionals in making decisions that have a legal impact, especially financial decisions. Now, with that said, let's talk about tenant retention. Retaining tenants saves you money. It's so expensive to have to go out and market a property, to fix it up, to get it ready to rent out again. It's a much better plan just to have good relationships with the tenants you have in place. I recommend creating a tenant recognition program. Have a good tenant-landlord relationship and utilize the inspections to solidify that relationship through the process. Remember that you have complete control over whether the relationship is a positive one or a negative one. Now, on that note, let's talk about some of the negative things that can happen. Remember that 1 in 4 landlords are sued by their tenants. It's important that you train your tenants to call you first if there's a problem. Let the tenant know up front that you have a procedure should they have a grievance with the owner. Now, through that procedure, if the landlord is found at fault with their grievance, give the tenant 3 months rent compensation. This usually is enough to get the tenants to call the landlord instead of an attorney. And 3 months free rent is way cheaper than a lawsuit. Now, if the landlord is not at fault and the tenant still sues, then you have to provide evidence showing the judge that you are not guilty. This is why it's important to keep a really good paper trail throughout your process of managing your rental property. Also, by offering that rent compensation, you can show the judge that you reasonably tried to settle the grievance. Now, again, remember that the cost of turnover is expensive. Replacing a tenant can easily cost $1,500 or more. You have fix-up expenses, you have rental income loss, you've got advertising expenses. What is the value of your time? The value of your time is much better invested in your relationship with your current tenants than in having high turnover and having to market your properties over and over and over again. I hope this information was useful as you focus on tenant retention. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next module.